Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm wearing a crown, Joshua. Why am I wearing a crown?
Because you're a queen?
Should I be a queen every day? Why is your mic so loud? What the hell happened?
Oh my god, is it?
Don't
right.
sit that close.
Go over here.
Yes,
Better?
I'm wearing a crown because you tell me on Halloween I should dress as the energy that I want to embody for the entire next year. And generally, I find it's pretty easy to put on a crown and embody that energy.
I think it's very apropos, especially if you've been doing it years in a row. Yeah.
Mhm.
Ideally, you should do that. Like I know that it's also fun to like dress and scare. I mean, goodness knows I have for many Halloweens, but it always is good. It's like it's a high holiday for the Wiccan people. Halloween is called oh my god, hold on. Samhain. Yeah. It's called Samhain. So you are in bringing that energy in. So, and it also can be mental. Like you could be like a scary character, but then have in your mind, I'm a really happy scary character, or I'm a, I don't know, successful scary character, or madly in love scary character, whatever.
What are you going to be for Halloween?
I am, it's so funny. So I'm on Amazon looking for this stuff, and I'm finding all this stuff. Cosplay. Have you heard of this cosplay?
Yes.
So a part of me is like, I mean, it's just interesting. So what is cosplay? Can you explain it, Kyla?
I think it's just where you dress up in fancy outfits and pretend you're like a creature or a warrior or something like that.
And well, they're selling these. The marketing for it is not for Halloween, but for cosplay. And I believe cosplay
festivals of this.
Sorry?
I think they have whole festivals of this.
Yeah, but I think that sex is involved. Like you're supposed to like there's this thing in which there's like this underground thing of like people who dress up like animals, like koala bears,
furries. Yes, furries.
Yeah, and they actually like they find it like to be like a sexual thing.
Are you going to dress as a furry?
Well, that's the thing. I'm having second doubts because I don't want people to get the wrong idea, like when they see me as like this animal thing. But then I'm thinking,
what animal are you dressing up as, Joshua?
I'm having an existential dilemma, but I have to literally find out tonight because I'm Amazoning the thing and it needs to come soon. And we have Halloween like what? 4 days? 5 days?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Are you gonna have cute ears or something? Like what is gonna go on? Like furry ears? Are you like a headband? Like what are you dressing up as?
I know that it's going to be more prudent than all my other Halloweens because I'm gonna,
I remember when you basically used Halloween as an excuse to walk around West Hollywood naked with something like makeup or something.
Well, that was a long time ago when I was very young.
I remember one time you dressed up as the sun.
I did dress up as the sun.
And you were painted entirely in gold and you had hair and
I was Apollo.
Oh, was that what that was?
Yeah, and I was just I can be very competitive, so I wanted to sort of like bring it.
Well, I would say you definitely brought it with that costume.
I had my friend who's like she's just this amazing, like I would never have been able to pull that off myself. Like she got me makeup and just stuff that like she's very dexterous and like handy and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna do that. Yeah. But it'll be fun.
But you are gonna have a Halloween party.
I certainly am. It's gonna be really fun.
What's your Halloween party gonna be?
So it is going to be a night of haunted trivia, scary stories, readings, if you wear a Halloween costume, and it's while energy supplies last. Isn't that cute?
Yes.
Because it is a party, and I want it to be light. I don't want it to go.
Are we gonna channel the dead?
We might be able to try something like that. We're gonna have to smudge because I want to do scary stories, and you know how I'm a true crime fanatic.
Yes.
So I was thinking like the only scary stories I know are really like true crime ones. So my feeling is if we wind up doing like scary stories, especially true crime stories, we got to smudge the hell out of like our Zoom room to, because I don't want to open myself up for like, I don't know, like Diane Downs and shit like that. Do you know who Diane Downs is?
No, I have no idea.
Ooh, it'll be a story, a secret story, a scary story on Halloween. She's but yeah, like I don't know. We'll have fun though. So yeah, bring your true crime stories or any scary stories you have. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. We'll make sure there's fun. There's gonna be plenty to do.
Well, I just bought an even better crown for this. So this is like the starter crown that I've had for years, but I bought an even better crown that I'm gonna be wearing to the Halloween party.
Ooh, okay. Well,
And I might
that's
have a scepter as well. I might have a scepter. I'm ambivalent about the scepter, but it feels like something I should probably have. Just because people think people like to say I'm a narcissist, so why not, like you told me the other day, lean into it and just like walk around with a crown and a scepter?
I would lean into it, absolutely.
Yeah.
If they want a narcissist, then they got a narcissist. Why
Why
not?
not?
So
Why
can I
not?
give you the link? Do you need the
Yes,
link?
well, I actually, so I have the link. So, guys, if you want to sign up for Joshua's psychic Halloween party on Halloween, it is pinned to the top of the chat right now. It is also in the description of the video, and it says you can only sign up if you're in the United States. But I signed up, and all it had me do was say I was in the. I had to say yes, I am in the United States. So, if you're not in the United States and you want to sign up, just lie. It's a little white lie. It doesn't hurt
it's a
anything.
it's a white lie. It's a white
Like, you
lie.
can be here in spirit. Some people can be in the United States in spirit, even if they live in the UK.
It's very true. They have an alternative self that is currently living in the United States.
In
Um,
theory.
so I hear some people love true crime. You're not too into true crime, are you, Carlin?
No, every once in a while I will like have a stage where I'm into it, but not generally. Why, like, what is your favorite true crime story?
I mean, there's so many. I loved Anne Rule when she was around. Anne Rule wrote stories about the what was the guy's name? Somebody in the chat knows. I want to say the Boston Strangler, but it's not. It's like I forget his name. The big one. She wrote a wonderful book called Small Sacrifices about Diane Downs, which will be one of my scary stories on Halloween. And there was a movie with Farrah Fawcett that is epic called Small Sacrifices. You might be able to find it.
Is it a Lifetime movie?
It should be if it's not. I think Lifetime probably bought it afterwards. But I remember it was on like ABC. It's great flick. And I love I love the underside of like human nature and like, the dark aspects that surface with some people. I just think it's funny or interesting. So yeah, I love true crime. I love true crime. So maybe this will be, something that we wind up doing, like maybe even on a fairly regular basis. If true
You
crime
should
is
be a police psychic. Why aren't you a police psychic?
Why aren't I a police psychic? Because I don't think it's my forte. You know what I mean? I never really aligned with it. I haven't aligned with it. Like I've aligned obviously with like reading people and helping with them with their lives. Like that's my background. So it's very easy for me to do that. But when it comes to other things, maybe because I'm not really a medium. Like all psychics are mediums, but not all mediums are psychic, meaning I'm not like, that's not my specialty, is connecting with like specific dead people, you know? But I think under Halloween, if there's ever a time in which you want to connect with the dead, Halloween is it. The veil between this world and the next is at its thinnest on Halloween. So it's a great time to get readings and connect with the dead if you so desire. Would you do a seance?
I would totally do a seance.
Would you say Mecca Lecca High, Mecca High Ho?
No, but like if I would do a seance within reason. I don't believe saying that phrase that I'm not going to say because it would give you way too much pleasure to hear me say that phrase.
I don't understand. I mean, it would be very nice to do a little Mecca Lecca High.
It's not going to do anything, Joshua. It does have no impact on the seance whatsoever.
Well, don't know until you try. Yeah,
I guess so. All right, guys. Well, make sure you sign up for Joshua's Halloween party. I will be there, and I think a lot of people will be there. It's going to be a fun time. Welcome to Nothing Remotely Controversial, where I'm back to doing the intro again because I didn't spend the first half of the show complaining and whining this time. I can have moments every now and again. This is a show that Joshua and I do every Tuesday night where I talk about the news and whatever really I want to talk about. And Joshua, who is a professional psychic, uses his psychic and astrology and tarot card prowess to help us peer beneath the surface and let us know what's really going on in the world. And we do take your super chats for questions. If you would like to Joshua to psychic something, you got to send in a super chat because time is money. You get to decide how much, and we will take your questions. We just ask that the questions are high level questions, like will Kyle Rittenhouse be convicted at his trial? Not low level questions like should I be a furry for Halloween?
If I'm a furry for Halloween. If I'm a furry for Halloween.
God, Josh, you're gonna start so many rumors tonight. My God. But I want to start by taking us back to last week because Joshua and I, apart from my complaining for the first half of the show, got into a little tiff last week.
We
Where
did?
we did get well, we weren't really fighting with each other. We just both had opinions. And my opinion was that Mark Zuckerberg was only interested in power and doesn't care as much about money. And you were Joshua, I have never seen you so passionate about a topic before. You went on a whole rant
The
about
moon
how
was in
Mark
Aries.
Zuckerberg.
In all fairness, my moon's on the galactic axis. I'm very sensitive to these aspects. Today, I was a complete, like, the only thing good for today that I was good for was psychic readings. That's it. Everything else, I was mocus pocus out of focus. Last week, the moon was in Aries, so I get a free pass when the moon is in Aries. Please.
You know what someone told me today, by the way? Like, side note, someone told me, I think it was Lisa in the chat, said that there's a cycle with people buying Bitcoin. Like, apparently, like, people buy Bitcoin on the new moon and they sell it on the full moon.
Ooh.
And they've actually, like, tracked Bitcoin to the moon cycle.
Now, that is cool. That's something I might really be interested in.
Yeah.
But I'm not too confident about Bitcoin.
You're lost. But you were confident last week that Mark Zuckerberg is only interested in money. And I said Mark Zuckerberg was only interested in power. And as penance for that, you had to run Mark Zuckerberg's chart so we could see for ourselves.
Right. But I guess the question is, what is power? A lot of people say money is power, and a lot of people say knowledge is power. So
my position is that Mark Zuckerberg is way too rich to even have money factor into his decision making anymore. And he's more interested in gaining as much power as he possibly can. But you ran his astrological chart, and you better give us an unbiased reading of this chart, Joshua, because I may not be as like astrologically inclined as you are. But I have worked with you for damn near 6 years, so I picked up a thing or two.
Yeah, you'll know. I wouldn't be able to falsify.
I know which house is money.
You know which house is money, but we don't have we have a time of birth for him, but it's DD. It's called dirty data, meaning it's suspicious. So we don't know his exact time of birth, but we do have some information. So we can share this for you. Okay, so when we look at this chart, we notice a few things. One, the sun is at 24 degrees Taurus, and his moon is supposedly, if this is the right time, it's in Scorpio, but it's at 18 or in some change. So that means that his sun is opposite his moon. He was born during a full moon cycle. And what that means is when you are born during a full moon cycle, it means that your mother's ideals for you and your father's ideals for you are completely polarized. So that dichotomy is internalized, right? And there's like these huge, very, very strong paradoxes. So in all fairness to you, there might be a side of Zuckerberg that is very, very, say, greedy and pedantic and earthy, but also a side of him that is very compassionate and caring.
It's okay. You can say I'm right. It's okay. You can say I was right.
I mean, it is possible. He does have a Scorpio moon, and I think Scorpio obviously is very much aligned with power. But I also think that they get a bad rep, like they are caring individuals. That moon is conjunct Mars, which is not easy. So emotionally, and it is Mars retrograde, which is fascinating. So in a lot of respects, he is instinctually aggressive when it comes to the things that matter to him. He also has this beautiful Jupiter at 12 degrees Capricorn, making a beautiful trine that's 120-degree angle with Venus. So Venus and Jupiter are both the benefics of the zodiac. They bring blessings. And with this trine, obviously, he has a lot of blessings. But that Venus is also opposing his Saturn, which is not easy. Usually this is somebody who's obsessed with his own ideas and has a tendency to impress them upon others.
Well, that definitely doesn't sound like Mark Zuckerberg at all.
No, not at all. But what's interesting, I also ran his transits. And he's going through it right now. There's a lot of stuff that's going on right now. Transit Jupiter at 22 degrees Aquarius is squaring his sun at 24 degrees Taurus, because that makes a 90-degree angle, an awkward square. So squares are like, making diamonds. Like it toughens you to create something. So squares make shit happen, but during that period, it's a little bit rough. So there's an issue with his expansion right now. So he's going to have to absolutely make some kind of change. Meanwhile, Mercury, which is still a little bit slow, transit Mercury at 15 degrees Libra, is making an exact quincunx with his Venus in Taurus. So that's a little bit rough, meaning the communications that are going on are having him to make adjustments pertaining to money or love. That's an exact.
Well, that fake whistleblower is making the round. She was over testifying in the UK the other day when I was on the news there.
That's very, very true. Yeah. But also right now, you got Pluto at 24 degrees Cap, making a beautiful trine to his sun in Taurus at 24 degrees. So he's going to, there's still a whole bunch of power around him. The North Node, though, right now is on his Chiron. So essentially, there's certain pain that he's having to sort of go through. I think that, he's the type of person who probably sweeps things under the rug. And then you also have Uranus on his Venus, which, it's causing disruption. But your question was like, just so we're talking about the same thing. You're saying that he's power obsessed. I'm saying he's money obsessed. Well, I think for a Taurus, money is power. Power is money to a Taurus. And I mean, for Scorpio too. I mean, why would a Scorpio want money if it wasn't for power?
He already has all the money he needs. He's one of the richest people in the world.
Right, but I don't think wealth has a ceiling. And once you start making that kind of money, you have all employees to pay, mouths to feed, people depending on you.
He prints money, Joshua. He doesn't even have to try to make money anymore. He prints money. That is not what's going to get him off.
So money what's going to get him off?
Power. Having control over other people.
Oh, I see. Like control over the masses.
Yeah, it's control over people. It's not control over things or possessions or being able to buy whatever he wants. He was able to do that a long, long time ago.
I mean, you could be right, because look at this. Now, again, this is dirty data. We're not sure if he was born at 2:39 p.m., but it's the only actual time that I got, so I'm running with it. If this is correct, he does have his sun and Chiron and the North Node in the 9th house, which, is about broadcasting and publishing. And I think with Chiron there, which is about woundedness, he might be overcompensating. I mean, yeah, and I mean, in the 8th house also with Mercury, as well as Venus, there is a desire for power. I think that we both might be right in the sense that the definition of power for him might be multidimensional. Money, obviously, I believe it must be a really strong part of it, but maybe it's also control over the masses. That could be. I mean, he's very, very, like, think of that Jupiter with Venus. Like this, for a Taurus, he's very much like, well, why can't I do that? But didn't he come from a background that was rather established, though?
What do you mean?
Rich parents, very rich.
I don't know if he had very rich parents. I know he was at Harvard and then dropped out of there, and
I see. Yeah. I mean, I think it's possible.
So I was right, is what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it is plausible that he has multidimensional beliefs around what power means, and I would be amiss to say that obviously money is power for a Taurus with a Scorpio moon. I think that, yeah, that's my feeling. But it's interesting. He even has Jupiter retrograde. I mean, good for him. Jupiter retrograde and doing this well. I mean, Jupiter retrograde usually means that like your success is later on in life. And he had success in his early 20s. So props to him, Definitely.
All right.
Definitely an interesting character study. Definitely.
Anything else we need to know about Mark Zuckerberg?
In terms of what's going on now, let's see. Yeah, there's probably going to be, especially over the next week, I would think Transit Mars is hitting his Pluto. So some more information might get up get out there that hurts him in the Pluto. So it might be anything that he's keeping secretive. That's further going to be emphasized in roughly 9 days when the sun hits his Saturn. So there's a few aspects over the next 2 weeks for him. You'll probably see him in the news, and there probably won't be things that are very easy for him. He's having to really go through it right now. Definitely.
Sin says,
Hi, Sin.
Google says he came from a wealthy family. Joshua, right again.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Usually Taurus sons, their fathers usually have a lot of money. It's
I know a Taurus whose father. Okay, never mind. We're not going to talk about that. All right.
usually, yeah.
Well, Joshua, another thing that you were right about is you were right about that Brian Landry guy being dead.
Oh my God, is it Landry? I've been calling him Laundry.
I have no idea. Laundry. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to this at all, but a lot of people have, and he is now confirmed dead. And you were right about that from the start.
What's so interesting is on my live stream, we found out we did some readings to see whether or not the parents were actually involved in Gabby's death. And Carlin, we got 3 nights, 3 in a row, which leads me to believe that whoever was involved in Gabby's death, it may have been like more than one person. Isn't that crazy? Like 3 nights in a 3-card spread. I mean, statistically, that is very, very, very.
And there are only 4 nights in the whole deck. So
in the whole deck, and we did a 3-card spread, and 3 nights came in. So I'm wondering if other people were involved in this besides Brian.
Wow.
I know. I wonder who. I mean, I would like to see like his friends or like who was around him. Maybe they were trying to get insurance money. I don't know.
Who knows? Well, we'll have to see if anything else comes of that. Joshua, want to take some questions?
Let's do it.
I have some questions too, but again, guys, we're going to do your questions first for tonight. So if you want Joshua to psychic something, send us in a super chat. If we run out of super chats, then I get to ask whatever I want, and that may or may not go how you guys want it to go. All right. Our first question comes from... Oh, I can't see where it comes from. Hang on. I would have to... Okay, I'm sorry. I can't see who sent this question given YouTube's interface, but it's will Governor Murphy of New Jersey win re-election?
Who's the guy again?
Governor Murphy of New Jersey.
When's the election?
I don't know. Probably November.
Governor Murphy?
Yes. Will Governor Murphy of New Jersey win re-election?
And someone I should stop shuffling on that?
Stop.
Let's see.
Next Tuesday is the election. Dude, next Tuesday is in November. Can you believe that?
Nope.
My God.
So it is looking a little bit tough for him, this guy. So he's holding strong, right? Knight of Pentacles. But
Irish family reunion.
Exactly. So there's like some kind of adjustment to the plan, and the competition is stiff. With the Hierophant, they're going to probably be going more toward like the tried and true. So maybe look at his politics, because that will give you an indication.
He's a Democrat.
He is a Democrat. But New Jersey is always Democrat, right? It's definitely blue.
No, Chris Christie was governor of New Jersey for a while.
You're right. You're right. So it's not looking good. If he wins, it's going to be very close. So I think with 5 of Wands, there's definitely some kind of adjustment to the plan. And they might with the Hierophant, like he has been governor though, like he is now.
He's governor right now, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I think it's going to be close. And it's not looking great.
All right. Yeah. Moving on, Daniel says, reading request, November, what will be most helpful to focus on energetically for the month, i.e., what will the story arc of November look like, and how should we be ready to flow with it? That's a good question. Thank you, Daniel.
Question. For whom?
For, I think, saying just like in general.
Okay, so the story arc for November?
Yeah, what will be most helpful to focus on energetically for the month?
In November.
Yes.
And someone I should stop shuffling on what would be most helpful to focus on energetically for the month of November.
Stop.
Very well. Let's see here.
You know what's weird is I got flutters around my heart when I asked that, and I don't normally get that.
Ooh. Okay. So the Lovers card. This this is definitely about like integrating the dichotomous aspects of yourself, right? But also making choices based upon your values. So there might be like, it's Scorpio season, so it's very much like get off the fence. So this is about choice. And it's also integrating the different aspects of your personality. Like Gemini is the ruler of this card. It's the Lovers, right? So we're talking about the twins, the Lovers is about integrating and also communicating, dialoguing, and debating. Mercury will be out of its shadow come November 1st. So that makes a lot of sense. But no major decisions in the mid of November, though, because the wind is still in our faces. So it's about looking at all of our options, right? And then waiting a little bit, probably towards Sagittarius time, because then we're probably going to just be able to be more optimistic. Scorpio is a little bit doom and gloom. And then at the end of November, that's when you stabilize things. So in the middle of November, like keep your options open, go with the flow, try to be passive. I mean, it's time to talk about it and think about it and maybe journal about it. But the wind will be in your face mid-November. By end of November, probably when we hit Sagittarius time, that's when we're like, all right, this is what we're doing. Do you know what I mean? Make sense?
Joshua, can you talk to us about like your shadow self? What is your shadow self?
So it's just I think the darker aspects of your personality. Like we all have, a light side of ourselves and a darker aspect of ourselves. And if we don't integrate it, what winds up happening is these very, very sweet, wonderfully perfect people wind up meeting these monsters they are dealing with because that's their unlived self. So it's very important for you to integrate your shadow, or else you'll be dealing with assholes your entire life, right? So it's not a matter of like being that dark person, but integrating it so the light casts out the darkness, if that makes sense.
Well, what do you mean when you say integration? I'm asking a dumb question for people who might have the same dumb question.
No, I don't think it's a dumb question. I think when I say integrate, it's sort of a matter of like, okay, say you're really, really mad and you want to staple some guy's ear to his nose.
That never happens. I never get really mad, nor do I want to staple someone's ear to their nose.
Ever. But
ever. Why would anyone think that?
Just for sake of argument. So you get this, like, especially during Scorpio season, right? And we're like, I want to staple his ear to his nose. So you own that and you go, okay, well, I'm not going to do that because, I'm a moral person. I'm sure there are charges that would be pressed against me for doing such a thing. So I'm going to own that. And I'm going to just do whatever I can to send love to this person who I absolutely
Or I could do a meditation and visualize myself stapling his ear to his nose, like in really realistic form.
And then letting it go. Yeah. I do think that the thing is that, remember, all energy at its basis is love. So the most practical thing any of us can do is love. So like, even like when a child says to his parents, like, I hate you. Well, the child doesn't hate the parent. The child is acting from that place of expectation of like, you should be loving me. Why don't you love me? I hate you. So all energy at its basis is love. So if you want as much energy as possible, love as much as possible, as opposed to dealing with those other emotions that might be more accessible, but not as real. Does that make sense? So you send love to the person. Like, you really got to kill them with kindness, because like the law of one, right? Like when you're stapling somebody's ear to their nose, you're doing that to yourself, because we're all connected. So it's all, like, that's why revenge is so fruitless, or like wishing somebody harm. Like, you don't want to do that because we're all connected. So
what if you just shit talk people on Twitter?
I mean, I would think that you'll get the reverb of that really, really quickly. If only because, again, like, when we're hurting other people, we're hurting ourselves. And to evolve as a society, we have to understand our inherent oneness. So it makes no sense to hurt other people or staple other people's noses to their ears. It's just not a good idea.
But what if you really enjoy shit talking people on Twitter?
If you enjoy shit talking people is it hurting people?
I mean,
that's
really, you could argue that it's helping them to have thicker skin.
My feeling is
I am loving them by helping them become more resilient.
I could tell you
and teaching them to keep their mouths shut.
Say I tell you a joke and it's about somebody, and I know you're not going to say anything to anybody. It's not hurting anybody, so what's the problem? But I do think that when we hurt other people, like, that I do think there's a karma that's attached to that. So I would try not to hurt other people. So maybe you're shit talking. Maybe you, I don't know, write it in invisible ink so it goes away, or write it, to yourself and then laugh about it. I don't know. I mean, Twitter's its own whole universe with like crazy ass. I don't know how you deal with Twitter. Like,
You
I'm
have to.
in and
There
out.
is a giant pissing contest every single day where you have to stake your ground and not let any bitches take it. That's what Twitter is.
I mean, I guess I just put my posts off and like run away because I'm not going to get into like these engagements.
That's what I do with Gab. Gab,
okay.
like you think Twitter's bad? Oh, Gab is like a whole new level. I have like 87,000 notifications in Gab, and most of them are anti-Semitic slurs.
Ooh, and you're not even Jewish. Imagine if you were.
I'm not even Jewish.
No, not yet. You might.
Well, maybe. Dare to dream. Dare to dream. Guys, if you're enjoying the show so far, please make sure you mount that like button. Please make sure you sub to the channel. We do this every Tuesday night. If you are enjoying it, we'll be back. Let's see. Next up, Nico. Oh, hey, God. Nico L. Will Trump's new media company stock, DWAC, be worth over $300 a share in 2022? So, Joshua, Trump has launched a new social media company. They're going to be launching a new social media network, and the stock went up really quickly. So will it be worth over $300 in 2022?
What's the name of this particular thing that Donald Trump is doing? The name of the stock?
DWAC.
So you want to know if DWAC will be at $300 a share in 2022. Is that correct?
Yes.
Say, what are the letters again?
DWAC.
$300 a share in 2022?
Yes.
And tell me when to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Let's see. It looks good. However, we got the Ace of Cups, right? So this is definitely inspired, and I think it has a really good start. I mean, people love him, right? So they're going to invest in him. But with the Moon, if it does reach that $300 a share, chances are it is not going to be long lasting because things will shift. So just keep that in mind. You know what I mean? Like, it might be really, really great, but, make hay when the sun's shining. I guess what I'm saying is this fluctuations. So I think that you will reach that number most likely, but it will fluctuate. So don't think that is like your home free because stocks are very volatile. Let's not forget.
Can we psychic how this new social media enterprise is going to do? Because here's what I think. And I'm sorry, this might not be a popular opinion. I think they're going to fuck it up. I think they're doing some sort of beta test with influencers, but I think it's going to launch and they're going to screw it up because it's just this is like when Trump launched a blog and called it like a one-way social media platform. It's sort of like that. It's I just don't trust them to dot their I's and cross their T's and do what they need to do for a successful launch. Conservatives over and over and over and over and over again screw this stuff up. So I would love to be wrong. I would be thrilled to be wrong. But can we psychic how this is going to go?
Yeah, great. Let's do that. And what's the name of? Did he name it? What is it called?
What is the name? What is it, like Truth Social or something? I think it's Truth Social.
Truth?
Truth Social.
Yes. Okay, so you want to see whether or not it will be a big success?
Yes.
And tell me when to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Let's see. Yeah, I think so. I think he learned his lesson.
Wait, you think it's going to flop?
No, I think he learned his lesson from the other thing that he was doing that shit the bed. So the Sun card comes up.
Oh,
this is partnership. I wonder if it begins with an R and ends with an umble.
I was actually going to ask that. I was going to ask that if he's going to acquire Rumble, which would then acquire him locals, and then all of a sudden I'm going to be on the Trump social media platform.
Very possible.
We should look into that.
First thing I got when we were talking about this, it's all about collaborations. That's going to be really key. And then you get Ace of Cups. It's inspired. And then you get Ten of Cups. So there's a lot of emotion. Remember, the reason why Donald Trump
I would be thrilled to be wrong about this. I really would be thrilled.
Oh, if it might flop?
No, I would be thrilled to be wrong about how I think they're going to screw it up. Yeah, I would be thrilled to be wrong. If it works out, great.
I think it's good, but the first thing that I got was that I think that there's going to be almost like collaborations, like definitely him. There's no way he's going to do this without conglomerating, I don't think. And I think the Sun card shows that.
Can we psychic if Trump's social media thing is going to acquire Rumble?
Let's see.
Can't escape Trump no matter what I do, no matter where I go.
Will Trump's social media acquire Rumble?
Yes.
And tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Let's see. That's highly likely. The Magician card comes up, right? Mm-hmm. So if it's not Rumble, it's some other kind of thing like Rumble, but it looks like it could be Rumble because the next card we get is the Star card.
Oh, Jesus.
And then you got the Pleasure card. So it's tied to the past. You know what I mean? Like there's some other kind of I think it's more than like one group that is going to be, because I think he you know, having flopped last time, I think that, you know, he's not going to do that twice. So yeah, I think that there may have been some kind of social platform previously that is revamped and whatnot and integrated, because somehow the past is incorporated.
Is it going to be MySpace? Is it going to be MySpace? Is it going to be MySpace? Is Trump going to make MySpace great again?
You think? Oh my God. I doubt it. Don't you?
I do, but it would be really funny. It would be really funny. Actually, right after January 6th, I registered a MySpace account. I was like, I'm getting back in the game.
They still have MySpace?
Yes, they do. Yeah, I signed a whole bunch of people up for MySpace. So I was like, just in case.
Just in case. Maybe you were onto something.
Make MySpace great again.
Make MySpace great again. I know. God.
All right, let's move on. Can't escape Trump no matter what happens.
What's wrong? I thought you loved Trump.
I do like Trump, but it's like it just also comes with all sorts of problems. Like I have great appreciation for the chaos that Trump causes. I have great appreciation for the fact that he doesn't care and he will say what he thinks, and you always know he's telling the truth because the man doesn't know how to shut up. But like, it just causes so many problems. It's always chaos. Sometimes you just want things to be nice, Joshua.
That's what you get when you have a Gemini in your life.
God. All right, let's see. Starry RZ wants to know, will the West Maryland secession proposal, will the West Maryland secession proposal to West Virginia happen? Okay, my understanding of this is that there are several counties in Maryland that want to secede to West Virginia, but I could be wrong, and I need someone to correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. So you know how like New Hampshire wants to secede from the Union entirely? So right. there are counties in Maryland that are like, F you, Maryland, we want to join West Virginia.
I see. Okay, so will they succeed in doing that, right?
Yeah.
Counties in Maryland succeed in leaving Maryland and joining West Virginia. And someone stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Let's see. What counties in Maryland succeed in joining West Virginia? Knight of Discs, Pleasure, Knight of Swords. I think they're going to really try to do it. I wonder if at one point were they connected more so.
I don't know.
It will be interesting to see like what their roots are historically, because the first card we get is Knight of Discs, so things are sort of stabilized, but there is a focus on it. This again has to do with the past, so I do wonder what their history is. And with Knight of Swords, I think that they might go after it, but I think the plan will, because this energy is sort of cutting all the other energies, right? Mm-hmm. So it's sort of like it might be blasted away before it gets off the ground, but I think they might do their best to try for it, but I'd be surprised if it actually happened.
All right, fair enough. Okay, let's see. Armani V says, also props to Joshua for being right about that dude being found dead.
Oh, Brian. Yes.
Yes.
In all
You're
fairness,
right.
a lot of people who do not work as professional psychics also called him.
Yeah, but you from the very beginning, and you didn't know anything about this either. You were like, I don't feel his energy at all. He's dead. Like you were adamant about it. You didn't even need to psychic it. You were like, I don't feel his energy. He's dead.
Yeah. Dead as a doornail.
Mm-hmm.
Or I know this in ASL. Dead. Isn't that cool?
Oh.
Dead.
That is actually a good one.
Dead.
Can we just make it? Can someone make a GIF of Joshua doing that?
He's dead. I think that would be awesome. Yeah, that's the only thing I learned in ASL.
That's it. That's all you need to know.
I'm late. Here it is. I'm late. Sorry, I'm late because I was always late to class.
Oh. Firestarter wants to know, when will the shortages and shipping problems come to an end, or will it be ongoing and get worse? Loves you guys. So the supply chain shortages, when will they come to an end? When will we be able to buy treadmills again?
The treadmill, yeah, okay. So when
will treadmill apocalypse
supply chain shortage come to an end? And tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Let's see. When will the supply chain shortage come to an end? King of Swords, Love, Page of Wands. I think you'll see things better come spring. And a lot of it really has to do with what happens during Aquarius. So January 21st to February 19th. And really working together. I think that there needs to be more of a coming together with people. And then Aries time, I would guess that, by spring, things should be definitely
April.
Better. March 21st, roughly, right?
I only care about the April part.
You only care about April because your birthday is coming up.
Yes, my 29th birthday.
Your 29th birthday. That's so cool. You got to tell me what 29's like.
You don't know?
Will be curious. No, I'm still 25 at this
barely
point.
Barely 25.
I'm 25. It's
obviously
perfect year. Isn't it a perfect year? 25.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm digging it right now.
Okay. Well, I'm glad. I'm happy you're happy, Joshua.
Oh, good.
Naughty One says, how long will Biden's dark winter last?
The winter of our discontent?
The winter of our discontent.
So what do we mean by Biden's
I don't know.
Winter?
Naughty One, I need clarification on what exactly you're asking here. What do you think?
I mean, aren't the Democrats even being like, what's going on with him?
They should have done this a year ago. I was talking about how Biden had dementia like a year and a half ago. And everyone's like, well, Carlin, don't you know Trump really has dementia? I was like, okay, Trump doesn't have dementia. Trump can speak for 2 hours coherently. You might not like what Trump is saying, but he can speak for 2 hours completely coherently. Biden can't even get through a dinner.
No, he got through a dinner.
Jesus.
Go get him off.
What were they thinking? Christ's sake. Naughty One, we need clarification on what Biden's dark winter means. Okay. It refers to issues with inflation, shortages, and high energy costs.
Okay, so will that come to an end?
Yes.
Time when to stop shuffling?
Stop.
So what's interesting is the energy around it, I get it's almost like from his perspective, like a Sophie's choice. Like we could have this or we could have that. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So he's not able to. Ooh, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Oh, good.
So wind is still in our face, right? With the Tower card.
Oh, God. He's going to choose the wrong one.
I think that you can expect, whatever she said, like higher inflation. And then with the Chariot card, there will be more control. But I think that what I get it is like attention. He's like, oh, that's not a big deal. That's not a problem. It's this that we need to focus on. So I think it's really about the, where his focus is at, where he feels compelled to direct his focus and resources. And it's like to hell with the other stuff.
I read today that home prices are going up like 20%.
Really?
And I was like, that bodes well for me. Like maybe I should sell my house, but then I'd have to find somewhere else to live and I don't really want to.
Yeah. I mean, decisions.
My home value has almost doubled since I bought it.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty pleased with that. I have to say.
That's a wonderful thing.
It
That's
is a
great.
wonderful thing. All
Super.
right. Christina 3 Threat says, Josh, you nailed it. Love. It's the fulfillment of the law and the rule and is the key to getting out of this global mess. We are all one.
Ooh, I love that. That just is so sweet.
You guys
That's
are just so
great.
kumbaya.
It's so kumbaya. Maybe we'll sing that at our Halloween party.
I don't think we should sing Kumbaya at a Halloween party. Are you insane? That's not a good Halloween song. What are you
Oh, you're
talking
right.
about?
We have to do more like Monster Mash and like Thriller, and maybe we'll channel Michael Jackson, find out like did he do those? I'm just kidding. That would be terrible. Wouldn't it be terrible?
We should do that at the Halloween. We should absolutely do that at the
I
Halloween
am
party. Are you kidding?
because he was like my first album, I'm really kind of committed to his innocence. So I don't know if I'd be able to be objective. But who knows?
Let's
I
not
wonder.
talk about
I'm
that. I
gonna
don't
do
want to
some
get
research. If
demonetized.
there's like a karma in terms of like, I don't want any bad karma, obviously dealing
Okay.
with like dead celebrities. You know what I mean? We'll
So
check it out.
my position with Michael Jackson is I think that he was too stunted emotionally. I think he was effed. I think he was really messed up.
Yeah.
And
Too.
because he was so stunted emotionally, I don't think he did it because I think he just like wanted friends. I think he got so screwed up that he was like trying to recreate his childhood as an adult.
Yes, exactly. And as a child, you do that. You do have sleepovers, and you don't sleep with your friends. I mean, I guess some people might, but I think he's innocent, and you know, some of the stories that we've heard, doesn't really feel true.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
I've always thought he was innocent. I always thought he was like too messed up mentally to even like wrap his head around doing something like that.
Or too passive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't seem predatory to me. But other people will absolutely.
Well, it's a great way to make money, isn't it?
I mean,
And to get a
the
special
thing.
on VH1 or whatever the hell.
Oh, the Neverland thing? That was
Yeah.
really rough. But I didn't know that you and I aligned on that.
Yeah, I don't think he did it.
I don't either. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would be nice to not, because now when we hear like an R. Kelly song or an MJ song, it's like part of us is like, do I dance to this or?
R. Kelly has a whole different story. I
mean, R. Kelly.
Generous opinion of R. Kelly.
Is guilty, or everybody thinks that he is anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we got like one more super chat. So if there's anything else you want to get in, now is the time. Otherwise, I'll be asking questions I want to ask. Sin says, happy pre-Halloween. And Lori J says, Obama said he would like a third presidency where he is behind the scenes with an earpiece in the ear of the president frontman. Is that happening right now?
So is Obama pulling strings behind the scenes?
Yes.
Not specifically the earpiece, because that's
not specifically the earpiece,
but is he?
The figurative earpiece?
Got it. Is Obama pulling strings behind the scenes? And tell me when I should stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Carlin.
He is. What is it? Oh, it's the shifty guy.
He's stealing swords. So I think that he's doing it to get information, but definitely getting away with something. And then the Empress. So he wants to do something new. There's something new that he's planning, Obama. And looks to be quite lucrative. So I wonder what this could be. I wonder, God, I don't think, Michelle, I don't think wants to run, thank God, for president.
Can you imagine?
Why? I don't know what I would do, but I'm not going to threaten moving to Canada because I'm kind of never moving.
No, Canada is awful.
No, I'm not leaving the United States. I'm not going to give up my citizenship dependent on who becomes president or whatever. But it's interesting. There's definitely stuff that he's doing, but it's for future. There's something new that's going to be born around him. Most likely Michelle too, because she's the one who's pulling his strings, if you ask me. Yeah.
Well, probably.
Yeah.
All
Capricorn?
right.
Yeah, absolutely. They wouldn't have lasted unless she was able to control him. Capricorn and Leo, yeah.
Cindy Chastain says, will there be a terrorist attack in the United States within 6 months?
Ah!
It's probably going to be in LA. It's not going to be in New Hampshire. It'll be in LA or New York or Washington, D.C. Be someplace you would go.
Thanks.
I didn't make your choices about where you live.
Will there be a terrorist attack in the next 6 months?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to stop shuffling.
Stop.
The Moon, the Hermit, Three of Cups. No, I don't think so. I think if there's anything, it's like where soldiers are might get attacked, but I don't think it's like a building or anything like that. You know what I mean? There's, I think they're trying to close a cycle to make sure that doesn't happen with two things. One, this is the close of an emotional cycle, the Moon, and the Hermit is the close of a material cycle, and then you get Three of Cups. So one thing Biden's trying to do is, I think, really be everybody's friend and keep the U.S. secure. That's my
right. All right, guys, that's all the super chats we have, but we still have 10 more minutes. So unless you guys want to send in some super chats, I'm going to ask some questions. So, Joshua, as you know, I'm going to England in like 3 weeks.
Wow.
I know. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. It would be great if someone else would buy a plane ticket and come to England with me.
I know. I'm so behind.
What was the original plan?
I know. Well, I get excited.
And then I got vaccinated. And I was like, I'm not wasting this vaccine.
Now you can't, because they're actually requiring it for international. Well, I guess that's with the U.S., right?
That's coming back.
But I know. I wish I was going. Next trip you go to,
we're gonna work on it still. I haven't given up hope yet. But that's not my question.
Okay.
My question is, the Queen was in the hospital the other day. Apparently, she spent the night in the hospital, and so and apparently she's out now. She's fine. And I saw on Instagram she was doing it was the weirdest thing. They were having ambassadors come to present their credentials, but they were coming to the castle where she lives, and they were having them in one room, and then the Queen is in another room, and she's being beamed in over an iMac.
God save the Queen.
But here's what I want to know. Will the Queen die while I'm in London so I get to go to the Queen's funeral?
You broke up on me. What did you say?
Will the Queen die? Will she kick the bucket while I am in London and I get to go to the Queen's funeral?
Please don't speak about her in those terms while you're there. Kicking the bucket. God.
I will have the utmost reverence for the Queen when I'm actually in her territory.
You have to curtsy if you see her.
Okay, I'll keep
practice your curtsy.
I'm not going to be beamed in through an iMac to the Queen. I'm not on that level of list.
You never know. You better practice your greeting. Okay. Be very nice and smile. So is she going to die? God forbid.
Well, I'm in London.
And I'm going to stop shuffling.
Stop.
High Priestess, disappointment, the Emperor. I wouldn't say that, but I don't think that she's going to be doing quite well while you are there. And it has nothing to do with you.
Well, I would think not.
You're not going to spike her tea or anything.
I'm not going to spike her tea.
I wonder if she has tea. She must, Earl Grey. You would get along beautifully with her because you like your Earl Grey, don't you?
I do like my Earl Grey. It would be awesome if someone took me for tea while I was in London.
With watercress sandwiches, as they do, right?
With a gluten-free menu.
And the crust cut off of your watercress sandwiches. Tea is a big deal. So yeah, you should. 3:00, I think it is. Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe you'll have it with the Queen. You'll help her with her problems. Maybe she's going through something right now. A lot of things. Maybe all of those things that she's been covering up for the past 70 years. Maybe that's coming up to haunt her.
I have a follow-up question. Okay.
Go ahead.
Will the monarchy will Charles screw it all up after the Queen dies? Will Charles screw up the whole monarchy?
Charles?
Will Charles be the last king of England?
Oh. And so I'm going to stop shuffling. No, I doubt it.
Hmm.
Seven of Cups. I mean, things are definitely in flux, but Three of Cups. There's definitely a lot of abundance there. So it'll be what's his face, right?
What?
Not Harry, thank God, because he's
William.
a
Well,
drunk.
William is after Charles.
Oh, okay, yeah, William, yeah. The only
All
reason
right.
Harry gets away with all this stuff with Meghan, in my opinion, is because he likes to drink a lot. So he's sort of like,
Obviously.
I don't care, I don't do what you want. Yeah, Vogue, okay.
That's why he was posing behind her.
Well, he was probably
She's like,
exhausted
"Honey,
just
stand
from
over
being
there."
around her, number one. And number two, he probably was hungover.
All right, Stephanie has a super chat. Will what is going on with the White House help the Republicans win in 2022? So I think what she's saying is in terms of Biden totally descending into senility. Will that help the Republicans win in 2022?
Oh, I see. Okay. And tell me when I should stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Will, what's going on in the White House now? Oh, I'm not sure because you got 3 5s in a row. I kid you not. You got 5 of Cups, emotional disappointment, 5 of Discs, hard times, and as if that wasn't enough, 5 of Swords.
Wow.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
You got 3 5s in a row. Carlin, how did we do this? This is like the night when we were pulling on Gabby. Yeah.
So not looking good for the Republicans in 2022.
No.
I've been saying this. The Republicans are going to screw it up. I have been saying this because they don't listen. And then they say, Carlin, you're just a leftist. What do you know? I'm like, all right, well, we're going to see what happens. Renee says, is the next caravan coming through the Texas border? Will it be violent?
What do you mean caravan?
The immigrant caravan. The immigrants are coming, Joshua.
Hide your wives, hide your kids.
Yes.
Will the next caravan coming into the U.S. be violent?
Yes.
Okay. The next caravan in. And tell me to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Let's see. Will the next caravan coming into the U.S. be violent? That's an interesting question. I think they're going to be too downtrodden to be violent. Like you have to have a certain energy, right? I think there might be some kind of valor and restriction, but I get it being more a matter of like, I don't get it being violent so much as really restricted. So it's how, it's more restrictive than violent. So I wouldn't think that it's going to be a violent episode. No.
Kieran says, here's the deal. Joshua, you come to London, and Carlin, we can go for tea.
Ooh, okay.
So I can't have tea unless you come to London, Joshua.
Oh, well, it might be really difficult for me to come to London. I have these other priorities, and I'm still making up for my vacation. Like, I'm still behind.
I believe in you, Joshua. I believe there's a solution to this problem.
Every problem has a solution, or else it would not be a problem.
All right, we have 2 more minutes. What else should we talk about? What other messages do you have for the week?
Well, today was a rough one. Venus would square Neptune. It was a rough day. But the sun will come out tomorrow. Quite literally.
Indeed. Very, very, very profound, Joshua.
It's going to be much better. And oh my God, when's the Leo moon? We need a Leo moon. This Cancer stuff, I feel like I'm like swimming. I feel like I'm walking through freaking mud. No offense to Cancers. It's just a little bit more emotional than I would like. I kind of like the fiery Leo energy. Let's just see when the moon's in Leo.
Okay. In the meantime, while you're looking that up, AM says, actually would be happy to see Republicans fail, but I'm still worried about what happens afterwards. The Republicans need to fail. The Republicans need to lose because they are not going to improve if they win. They're only going to get worse if they win. I know it sucks in the short term, but you have to sometimes let people fail.
It's true.
That leads to improvement in the long term.
It's true. Well, Also, we better get cozy with this Cancerian moon because we're going to have it for a while. It's only going to be entering Leo in the very wee hours, 5:07 a.m. on Thursday. So
Ugh.
there's going to be more Cancerian stuff. So my advice is to really make friends with the ocean, swim, meditate, take long baths,
I'm gonna go
shower.
to knitting night tomorrow at the freaking Libertarian Club, Republican Club.
I
No.
think it's good for you though, because you have a Libra
Yeah.
rising, so it's very opposite. So whenever the moon is in Cancer, it actually is in your 10th house, which is the opposite of the house that Cancer rules. So I think that it's a good time for you to go out and about and do things. You know what I
All
mean?
right. Well, Joshua, we have reached 10:30, which means we are out of
Ooh.
time. Can you pop up your Halloween party thing again, and I'll
I
show it on the screen? Guys,
certainly
we
can.
do this every Tuesday night at 9:30, so you can join us anytime. Make sure you subscribe to Joshua's YouTube channel. And Joshua, that information is in the description. And Joshua is also having a Halloween party on Sunday. I've put the link to the description for that as well, or in the chat as well as in the description. Do we have time for failure? Yes, we have time for failure in regards to the Republicans. Yeah, dude, because the Republicans suck. They suck real bad. They're no better than the Democrats. They need to learn a lesson. But you guys can come to Joshua's Halloween party. We can do haunted stories and readings, and we can try to make Joshua psychic the dead. I will be wearing a much better crown than I am today, and I'm pretty excited about it. So make sure you sign up there, and make sure you mount the like button on the way out the door. That's all we have for right now. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.